Happy Monday. Time for another Captain's Corner. I always say Monday is the best day of the week because it's Captain's Corner's day. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Captain's Corner. This is your place to get informed about first steps to recovery. And also you can find out how Safe Harbour helps to create healthy and safe communities. During our live streams, we will share inside views and stories and educational resources. And today we are super excited to have Amanda Gold with us. Hey, Amanda. Hi. So, so Amanda Gold is the Executive Director of the DBA, the Downtown Business Association in Red Deer. And we also have, of course, our captain here, Kath Hoffman. Hi, Kath.
Ahoy there.
Ahoy.
And welcome to Amanda. I'm really excited that Amanda's here. Like,
me too.
True.
Me too. I wanted to say it has been in the works for years, but the Captain's Corner is not that old yet, so that wouldn't be true. I'm Kirsten. You're the first mate marketing here at the Harbor, and I would love, Amanda, to welcome you. And maybe just to start off, why don't you introduce introduce yourself to our listeners today, and tell us about what you do and what the DBA is.
Sure. So, hello, everybody. My name is Amanda. I'm the Executive Director for the Downtown Business Association, or DBA, as it tends to be called. I've been in this position for 9 years. I've been in Canada, or a citizen of Red Deer, for 13 years. So I think I've got a pretty good handle on things now. The community, it's a wonderful community, and I absolutely adore Red Deer, and I'm very passionate about downtown. So a couple of the things that the DBA does, we are the representative of approximately 450 businesses downtown. So we are the voice. So yeah, I know, nobody ever really knows that we have that many businesses downtown. Wow. There are so many professional entities down here that often get overlooked because they're what we refer to as second floor businesses.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead.
So everything the DBA does falls into one of two categories. We're either supporting our business community with different subsidies and programs, or we are driving foot traffic into the downtown through events and marketing and promotion. So that's us in a real nutshell. We're not. I will add that, and this is a common misconception, is that people sometimes think we are part of the city of Red Deer, but we are not part of the city of Red Deer. We're completely independent of them, and we are funded by a levy that is imposed on all of the businesses operating in a certain area. So we're funded by the businesses that we represent. So
cool.
Yes. So that's us.
Yeah. So from what I know from the DBA is that, and that is so exciting because Safe Harbour and the DBA have kind of like partly a similar vision, because we both want a vibrant and a safe and healthy community downtown. So basically, like, we work together, and I think this is something that nobody really is aware of, like how the DBA and Safe Harbour actually work together. So could you maybe Amanda and Kath, you have been behind the scenes working together for many years now. Like, can you explain like what the DBA and Safe Harbour, how we collaborate together? Maybe Amanda, or Kath.
Well, yeah. Here's me. I'm just always right. But I think that it's an unusual collaboration. And I think in maybe in the general community's eyes, and lots of people see these as adversarial operations, right? There's the downtown businesses, and then there's Safe Harbour, right? And I think for many years, we were able to coexist pretty well, right? But like the rest of the country, things have changed. Things have changed dramatically, especially in the last 4, 5 years, 6 years, right? And with that came a whole bunch of challenges for the downtown businesses, like so many. And certainly here we are at Safe Harbor operating these temporary Band-Aid solutions, you know, as we're trying to get better service. And so it's very, if you just looked at it from the outside, all you'd see is Safe Harbor compounding the problems that the downtown businesses are having just by existing. And in a certain way, that's true. If we weren't there, maybe a lot of that chaos would not exist in the downtown. It would maybe exist somewhere else. Or if we had if we had a million zillion things, maybe, it could go away, but that's not real. What's real is what's happening down there all the time, what's happening to the businesses, what's happening to the people we serve, what's happening to my staff and our operations. It's so different. Wouldn't you agree, Amanda? You've been there 9 years. Would you agree with me?
Oh, 100%. The change that we've seen in the last 5 or so years has been it's been incredible, and it's not been for the better. It's just, everyone has got such a tough, or is having such a tough go right now, regardless of what sector you're in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So what, I think it's pretty cool that Amanda's here today. Like, I really do, because when I was thinking, what if I had to be Amanda? What if I had to have Amanda's job? And it is so challenging to have so much coming at you, right? And as a captain, I get lots coming at me too. So I can appreciate that, but I'm surrounded by a team and a board and everything else. And of course, Amanda's got her crew too, but I'm sure it gets to be so big, right? And the worst part about this is if the businesses or Amanda, if they make noise about all the trouble that they're having, it makes it sound like they don't care about people. And that is so beyond the truth. But that's what it looks like. So then they don't want, they say, it's not like we're against people having shelter. These are the things we're having trouble with, and that's lots of things: theft, vandalism, defecation, garbage, litter, needle, like so much. So it's tough then for them to have those real honest conversations, because they don't feel good about the fact that they're complaining about it, and yet they have every right and more to say enough is enough is enough. We have to do better. We have to do better. And yeah, it's hard when that's the reality. We want an ideal. We want a beautiful downtown that doesn't have that stuff in it. And that's like a zero. We're working for a zero, right? And zero is so far away from us right now because it's such a complicated, complex problem. So we're basically, Amanda's team and my team, we're basically putting out fires, but we haven't yet got to the point where we're building something different to prevent the need for that, yeah, that's me talking too much probably. Amanda, say something that's, what do you think?
You're totally right. I think, our businesses, we've all had a tough go over the past 2 years with COVID, but I think, our businesses are, I feel for them. I really do feel for them, because as you say, they want to be compassionate and they are compassionate, but they're frustrated as anything, and they feel bad for complaining.
Yeah.
Yet they want to complain more than anything in the whole wide world, because things are bad, and we need to fix it. But they don't. But none of us have the resources to be able to fix it. I mean, we're doing lots of good work, thanks to the city, and we are making progress. But our businesses it's just tough.
It's hard. It's hard. And you know, when you think about the dynamics now compared to 4 or 5 years ago, ever since, you know, the opioid crisis, and of course the increase in needle usage and all of that started to play a part, like 2016, 2015, around here, that's when we really started to notice that, because the substance was different, then the paraphernalia is different, right? And then now when you look even from that time to now, and how many people are using crystal meth, or how many people are in psychosis from the drugs that they're using, right? So here we are at Safe Harbour, offering a shelter for people who are higher intoxicated, okay, in the middle, like in the city, and ideally bringing those people in, getting them out of the downtown and having a place for them to go. Now, we can't hold them in there. We can't say, now you're in, let's shut the door and you stay here until we say it's okay to come out, right? So through these crises, through these different substances, it's become normalized somehow for people to be walking around in a state of psychosis in our community. They're unpredictable and they're so sick, right? So years ago, that wouldn't happen. They get picked up and taken somewhere, right? But because this is an addiction-related psychosis, there's that dynamic. How do I pick this person up who is not necessarily going to treatment? I can't force treatment on them. I can't hold them anywhere, right? And if I try and they're still wanting to use their substances, I'm going to lose them right away. You know, it's the same thing with the justice system and how complicated that goes. Let's pick Buddy up for this. Oh no, here he is out again today. You know, he just got arrested. It's just all this merry-go-round of systems that haven't caught up yet to the reality. And how do we do that when people have rights, right? That plays into the right we have and stuff. And it's so messy and complicated. It's a hard bunch of stuff for people to jump into and figure out.
Mm-hmm. So what is the DBA and Safe Harbour, like what are we currently doing to help those businesses? Because I think it has been over the time, last couple of years, with the kind of drugs that are on the streets, I think it has the problems have increased, I think. So what is the DBA doing to help the businesses, and how do you work together with Safe Harbour, Amanda?
Well, we have there's a couple of things actually. We have a clean team, and our clean team works throughout the downtown, not just over in the rail yards area where Kath is, but throughout the downtown, and we're responsible for picking up litter and debris and needles and everything else that comes along with it. So what we've now done is, thanks to the city, we've been able to take a portion of that clean, or add to that clean team, and put them over in the rail yards area to specifically work around where some of the troubles are. And it seems to be having a good impact. I know the businesses are so thankful that they have someone, because not only do we clean up on public property, we're going onto private property as well and actually cleaning up, which isn't a usual thing. Normally, people who own spaces are responsible for their own cleanup. So there's that, which is happening. But also, and I think this is a really interesting one, is we have a position called our community liaison person. And she actually works, she's as the name suggests, she's a liaison. And so she works with RCMP, Safe Harbour, she's connected to 211, she's from the DBA, and she works with the businesses over there as well. So she's constantly being that person who's checking in on the businesses, finding out what's going on, where their struggles are, and then from there, she either feeds that back to the city or implements through one of the resources that we have some kind of solution that isn't a long-term solution. It's a band-aid solution for now, but it at least makes their lives, the businesses' lives, a little bit better. She's regularly meeting with some of your team over at Safe Harbour, Kath, as you know, and we're always trying to come up with different ways to work together and do it. But these are our two really big ones that we're doing right now.
And I can't even begin to tell you how much we appreciate that at Safe Harbor. Like, and that's not just me talking because we're on Captain's Corner, okay? We are as overwhelmed with that need as the businesses are. And my staff that are inside the shelter, which is kind of like a football field, and trying to navigate sight lines and keep their eyes and ears on upwards of 100, 120 people going in and out during the day and 80 at night, their hands are full. And so if they can get outside to clean up, that's a one-off, like maybe, and maybe if it's not busy in here, we can run out and do a cleanup. So man, the fact that those guys are there, that is just such a gift to us. Like, it just takes a little bit of our pressure off, and even more of the pressure that we aren't doing enough to keep this place crystal clean, beautiful, pristine, lovely spot, right? So like you beat yourself up. Like every time if I head down to the harbor and there's something, I kind of lose my compassion too, because I just think, why are you guys making a mess? Don't you make a mess out here. You know, people are driving by, they can see this stuff, right? So to know that there's somebody there helping just to enhance that, and that community liaison person that Amanda was talking about, that position gives that business a safer sounding board than if I went, you know, if it was somebody from Safe Harbor going, because they, you know, maybe they don't want to tell us really how bad it was, or they're trying to take care of us in the telling or something, right? Whereas that person there gets there before the fire gets too big too, you know, and can, as Amanda said, then what can we do to help mitigate this and to minimize it as best we can, right? Two since last year, and having 211 operating in the city now. So those businesses have a number they can call if they find Buddy on their step in the morning or in their foyer, and they can phone 211 and have somebody come. That's new for us in the city, right? And that's a big deal. And I think that not enough people know about that service yet, but it's done some. I even had the Calgary Police Services phone me and ask me about that model. Because they could see what a great thing that is. And I know Calgary does that in different parcels, but I think that that's a real benefit. And so there are things that are starting to help, but that problem is constant. And we can clean it up today and it'll look like that again tomorrow. You know, it's not the solution we need, but it is keeping the fires from burning too far out of control. Yeah, it's going to take a lot more, and maybe things are coming. You know, we've got some fresh air coming into the community. We've got a new treatment center coming. We've got 2 new treatment centers coming. We've got drug court coming. Ideally, we're going to have a shelter that's built better for people, you know, with food in it, so they don't have to go out, so they can stay there. You know, like sometime that might happen. Somebody's talking about building a shelter in Red Deer. I don't know. I heard something about it. But I think it'll come. It's coming. Things are going to come to help. And it's us together. You know, like sometimes I listen to the businesses and it hurts my heart, but it's not because they're attacking me or the people we're serving. They're voicing their frustration about the situation, you know, and that's 2 different things completely. And I can totally relate to all of the frustrations they're having. Yeah. We have them too. We've got the vandalism. We've got the poop. We've got somebody broke into the shelter last week, the back, and stole somebody's bike. Like, it's all real. It's all, you know, I don't know how many times we fixed the door and the windows, and like, it sucks, but it's real. Like, it's real. Yeah. So we can't ignore it. So then it's like, I have to phone Amanda and say, okay, Amanda, thanks so much for helping us. That's why I wanted to have her on Captain's Corner, because I really, you know, I've sent her an email once in a while thanking her for the extra support, but I wanted people to see that we're trying hard, both the DBA and Safe Harbor, to do what we can for as long as we have left there. You know, maybe our time is limited, but we're gonna go out, you know,
we hope we have more time
on a wave. Yeah.
Yeah. So Amanda, are there some, I know there's like, probably like you probably hear like many stories. So I have heard many stories over the years. Like, is there anything where you said like, you know, like these were like some really nice stories from businesses, or like is there something that where you think like this is, you know, a light that somebody was just shining, who was compassionate, although there was a lot going on? I know, is there something that comes up that you have experienced in the past, like from you or your team that went out and talking to the businesses?
And the businesses, although they are empathy weary, they want to be heard. And I find that's what they need the most. And they need to, they want to know that somebody is fighting on their behalf to make things better. And sometimes they don't realize that Safe Harbour is also working hard to make things better in the community for them. You know, and so we have to balance that with them and make sure that everybody understands that we all have to work together. But some of the biggest thank you I get is through Chelsea's work, and that is cleaning up the litter. Something as small as cleaning up the litter is having such a positive impact. It's quite astounding, really. We do a survey every month to all of the businesses that are over in the rail yards area. And what comes back is that, yes, people are still unhappy, of course, and we still have a whole bunch of issues to address, but is also the thank yous that we see, that just having that one point of contact, or cleaning up the litter, or having that one point of contact in Chelsea, the community liaison person, it just makes a difference for them. It really does make a difference. They feel like, how I started this comment, they feel like they're being heard.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's important, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate what you said about they don't always realize that Safe Harbour is trying to do the same thing. And I was telling Amanda last week when I asked her to come on, that last week we were in the shelter in the back where we store clients' belongings. And I kid you not, it looked like a bloody airport in there with stuff, like so much. And I think, and I don't know, I hope somebody's doing research on crystal meth and whether it encourages hoarding, because I've never seen client belongings like that in all of our years, right? We've got lots of people. So I was thinking, if we didn't have this back here, it would be all over everywhere in the city, right? Like suitcases and like you wouldn't believe all the stuff, right? And I said to Amanda, I should have taken a picture of this, and then we could say, okay, you guys, look, see, we're helping. We've got all this stuff in here that we have to figure out what to do with, right? And yeah, because you need those visuals. And I think that's why people appreciate the cleanup so much, because it's a visual. Who likes it if you drive up to your place of business and it looks yuck, like nobody, right? So it's a quick win. And yeah, I can really appreciate what Amanda's saying about being heard. Those businesses feel that's probably the most important thing to them. Who's listening? And are we making any progress anywhere in any way, shape, or form? You know, because that's certainly what we want to do.
So Amanda, you just mentioned like the clean team, and then we briefly talked about 211. Like what is the typical process? Like somebody sees something and then like what do? Do they usually call the DBA and then you refer them, or you send the clean team out, or you tell them to phone someone else? Like what is the usual, like the process look like?
Well, Chelsea has established herself so well with those businesses that she gets a lot of calls from the businesses themselves asking her what is the best step for me to take. And often I know I keep talking about litter and debris, but often it's somebody asking for help to clean up that, or any defecation that's happened or something like that, because our clean team comes and cleans that up too. So it's the process generally is come to Chelsea first and we'll send you in the right direction. If we can't solve it for you, we'll send you to the right place that can.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's so good.
And then, so you mentioned also like Kath and Amanda, you mentioned like the 211, like how is like the 211 connected to the services that, is it in addition, or is that like for specific needs, or like what is the 211 exactly?
Well, that's that outreach team that's going out to respond to a call because someone in the community has identified someone in need, in distress, passed out. What happens with 211 is it's a number that goes to a dispatch, and the first person that gets that call determines who needs to be sent, whether it's the RCMP, because this might be a potentially violent situation, or it's something that Safe Harbor's outreach team can handle. And we have a nurse and typically a social worker in that. They are the two people that are going out to respond to a call. So the whole idea for 211 originally started because they wanted to reduce the number of non-emergency calls that the RCMP were having to respond to. And what's a better way of doing that? Not just for that reason, but also for the people that are in that distress or the business, right? So that's the beauty of that, is that that call gets assessed and diverted to the right place and the right team to go and help. So it's a wonderful thing for the downtown businesses, any business anywhere in the city or any person. You know, we'll see a lot more people outside now in distress that the community might be worried about. So having that number out there and people knowing that they can call that, so many people just don't know what to do. You know, even my sister said that to me yesterday morning. We were out for breakfast and she said she saw a guy in a wheelchair and he didn't look like he was okay. And she didn't know what to do, right? And that's the thing, 211. So it's cool. It's a really good thing to have.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank
you. So we
Kath.
do have really cool things that are happening. They took a while to happen. And I think that also added to the business's frustration. The businesses were talking for a long time before, you know, they could have at least something to hang on to help with, right? And I remember reading one thing about one of the businesses and how they said, this is my family run business. Like, this is my whole life, my income, my retirement, everything, right? Like, that puts it in a whole other perspective than just one angry business owner. Like, no, you know, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere across the country. Every municipality across the country is dealing with this in one way, shape, or form. Nobody gets a free pass on this one, unfortunately. And as our stress and all the other madness in the world keeps going on, we got to get ready. We got to get readier. And we are, by building these connections and these relationships and showing each other that, yes, the Downtown Business Association and Safe Harbor are buds. And yes, they're trying to do everything they can. And that's all we can ask for, right? Like, we can only do what we can do and keep doing it.
So now that the summer is almost here, and I think it's all about connection and building relationship. And I think that people are so frustrated, or like businesses are oftentimes so frustrated, is because they are so invested in their business, of course. And so Amanda, is there anything like planned? I know like the patio has been open like all winter. Like, is there anything planned like during the summer again that brings more people downtown?
Oh yeah, we are heading into our busiest season of the year. I say that, it used to be our busiest season, but now it just seems to be a constant throughout the year. But it's funny how it's evolved. But anyway, yes, there's lots of great activity happening. The market returns, the Downtown Farmers Market returns on the 25th. So that's only, 10 days away. And we have Ross Street Patio music starting, well, it started actually, but it starts for 3 sessions a week. We commencing the 23rd of May as well. So that's all starting to kick off. Plus, we have a bunch of events that we're doing by supporting other events that are happening. So we've got the murals as well.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
10 new murals this year, which is great. And businesses had to put their name forward if they wanted a mural on the side of their business, which you think, you know, some people wouldn't want. But businesses are like falling over themselves to take part in this activity. It's brilliant.
Right on.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So we've got 10 of those happening this summer. They should be happening imminently. And then Centerfest is coming back in September as well. So, and that is a big event, draws a lot of families into the core. And then lots of smaller events that are happening as well.
So cool.
That's cool.
So these murals, like, are they all like from artists here in Red Deer, or how does it, how did you find those artists, or are these the same ones than last year?
No, they're all different. We put out, or rather the city puts out an artist pool, and they have to send in their artistic resume with different things that they've done, and they have to have mural experience, because working on a mural is much different to working on other smaller mediums. And then however many get chosen, and they are then paired up with the business, and so that they can discuss the type of mural that they want, and make sure that we're covering, you know, we're doing something that the business is going to be really proud of and feels a connection to. And then from that, we're also trying to do some place making as well. So now you've got a beautiful mural, and the businesses around you have got beautiful murals. And instead of it just being a place to park in the back, we're trying to create little spaces of activity, just activate the space with unusual things. Put a table and chairs out there, put a soccer goal out there, just, you know, do different things. And so people start occupying that space, and it completely changes their perception of downtown, especially in the back alleys or the rear of buildings, where people have always been more aware of negative things happening. But it's a great program, the murals, an absolutely great program.
Yeah, I love those. I remember last year I thought, oh, I will go through Red Deer and create a TikTok in front of all those different murals.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one, actually. I was looking, I've got a friend on Facebook whose daughter just graduated, and I was looking at all her pictures, and they're all taken at different murals in the downtown. So it's getting people to do something different, you know, a different way to see downtown, a different way to connect with downtown, and a different demographic too. You know, not just your shoppers, not just your business owners. It's a totally different demographic now.
Yeah. And as a designer by heart and business, I love like those different aspects and like the mood the different moods that you can show. And it's, you know, I'm always looking for places where I can take cool pictures or videos. So this is awesome. I just wished I would have known like who the artist was, or maybe like a QR code that I could just scan and tag the artist, because I thought, oh, I want to know who that is. I want to yeah, I would love to share that and to get.
And what businesses it's on too would be good, right?
Yes.
To have both that information.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'd be a good idea. They both get a shout out, you know?
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
I don't even know how to do TikTok around the clock or whatever it is. I don't even know.
Well, we would we will work on that, Kath.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, I love all those things. I love when summer comes and like, you know, there's more life outside and music again. And yeah, this is really the best time of the year.
Yeah, awesome. We need it. Hey, you guys, we need it. We need it. We're aching for it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you would love to share, Amanda, about, I don't know, anything that you have on your heart when it comes to the downtown?
I could probably say two things. One, it's not as bad as people think.
Yeah.
People have this perception, and then because it's because bad news travels more quickly or quicker than positive, and So a lot of the messages, one, they're anecdotal, they're not based on fact, and two, they travel really fast.
Yes.
So the positive stories get lost in the shuffle, really. And there's so many great things happening down here. And I would really encourage anyone that hasn't been downtown for a while to come downtown and see what is happening now. Come downtown on a Wednesday afternoon. That's when it's really hopping. And you'll be surprised. The businesses are all open, there's stuff on the patio, there's music, there's a market, you know, all those things are happening. So yeah, come downtown, give us a chance.
I'm glad you said that, Amanda, because that's like so true, man. It's so true. And yeah, we got to keep our minds open and get out there because it is cool down there. I love all the historical buildings down there. That's what I love.
Yeah, me too. Something that I have recently become really aware of is, you know, we can't fix the problem by focusing on the problem. We can only get out of this situation when we create. And what you just said, Amanda, this is creating new. And this is how we can then get out of the problem, because we are not focusing on it. We are creating, like the market is again, like the murals are coming up. Then we have all these outdoor activities. We have the patio, like these are all new things that are exciting. And that brings the focus to all those good things. So I think this is really important. And I'm so thankful that you mentioned that, because this is really what the heart of downtown is all about. And I don't know, I love downtown. I come from a city, from Hanover in Germany. So I know like the feeling of downtown, and it's there, but you know, we just have to create it. Like it, all of us, we have to live it. We need to be there and experience it, and with open eyes and ears, and, you know, be part of it.
That's like major what you said, Kirsten. This is why you're my first mate in marketing, because you're really smart and you say things like, you can't fix a problem by focusing on the problem. That is like brilliant. And it's true. You know, we get stuck in the muck of it all. And yeah, that's why it's really good Amanda came on here today.
Yes.
And we could talk about that and show people we're doing it. We're doing all we can.
Awesome. So
together.
Amanda, if people wanted to check out like what the DBA does and all the activities that are coming up, like how can people do that? How can they reach you? How can they find out more about downtown and the DBA?
Well, one, they can pop in and see us between 8:30 and 4:30. They can stop us at events as well, where we identify ourselves. But we're on Facebook, and we put everything on Facebook, and our Facebook page is just Downtown Red Deer, and on our website as well, which is downtownreddeer.com. So there's lots of different ways, you know, instant messages. We get so many instant messages wanting to know who's performing on the patio. We had a strange one today, somebody asking that if we could put up some more no smoking signs on the patio, and she wanted to know where to get them from and whether she was allowed to put them up. So, you know, just things like that people want to connect with us about. It's you never know what people are going to ask you for.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda. So everyone, if you are not following the DBA yet, so please do so. There's a lot of cool things coming very soon, and like I think always, but more so now in the summer. Please follow the DBA on all the social media. And yeah, thank you, Amanda, so much for joining us today. I'm very happy that you are here. If our listeners have any comments or questions, please post them in the comment section and we will get back to you. Captain?
Yes.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thanks, Amanda. And everybody, steady as she goes.
Steady as she goes. Bye, everyone.